Good morning, all of you. So, in the last class, we started our friction topic, and in that, we discussed some of the basic concepts like some definitions and the types of frictions and some formula related to that frictional force, right? And so, in today's class, let us see some few more concepts based on that. And so, first, I am defining that angle of the friction. So, angle of friction and net contact force. Net contact force, right? So, this is the topic which we are going to discuss now. So, this angle of friction or net contact force means in the beginning of this Newton's laws of motion we discussed like when a body is say placed on this surface here and suppose it is ready to move along this direction here, and now there will be some forces acting on this friction here. That means there will be some forces acting on this block, and so those forces are nothing but we can say one of the force is if suppose it is moving along this or ready to move along this direction, let us consider here. So this one of the forces, say this weight of this block which is acting downwards, and this normal reaction will be there along this direction, right? And so as the body is moving on the rough surface, there will be some frictional force acting on this here. And so now here as I said, this normal reaction and the contact force are the components of two rectangular components of the contact force. So contact force means we know which will arises only when the two objects are in contact with each other. So right, and so now this is nothing but our contact force here, the resultant of these two. The resultant of this friction and this contact force we can, resultant of this normal reaction and friction we can represent here. So this is our net contact force here. So that means this is the contact force here, and so this is one component and this is the other component of that force here. So right, and so those two are the rectangular components of that force. Now when the body is ready to move, so when the body is ready to move means when this frictional force is limiting friction. That means now here in this case the contact force we can write this as, so therefore I can write this contact force is equal to, so F net is equal to under root of n square plus F square we can write, because those two are the two components of this contact force here. And so now here angle of friction means, and so as we know this contact force when the body is not moving and when the body is ready to move, then this frictional force acting on this object will be a static friction, right? And so now in case of that static friction will depends on the actional force or the pulling force acting on this object here, that we already discussed it there. Like suppose some external force is acting along this direction here. This is an external force, pulling force acting on this object here. And so now the static friction acting on this object will depend on this external force, or how much force it is acting on this until it is ready to move or it starts moving. And so because of that we can say that this contact force can have many values there, that depends on that different, that means that depends on the situation of this object here. So contact force is not a fixed value here, that depends on just it is a resultant of these two values. So this friction will be different in different situations, and the normal reaction is also different in different cases here. Like when the object is placed on the horizontal surface, you will get the normal reaction as mg. If it is placed on some inclined surface, you will get some mg sin theta. Normal reaction will be mg cos theta you will get, right? So it will be different in different situations also there. And so now here the angle of friction means when the body is ready to move, that means when the frictional force is limiting friction. So when the friction is limiting friction, so this is limiting friction we are taking. Limiting friction means the maximum possible static friction, or that is the frictional force acting on the body when the body is ready to move. So that is nothing but we call the limiting friction here. So when the friction is limiting friction, then automatically this will be the maximum force here. And so now this angle is nothing but the angle made by the resultant force with the normal reaction is nothing but we call angle of friction, right? So the angle of friction is nothing but the angle made by the net contact force when the body is ready to move. When the body is ready to move, the angle made by the net contact force with the normal reaction is nothing but we call angle of friction. Just write the definition there. First write about this contact force here. We know friction and a normal reaction. Friction and a normal reaction are the two rectangular components of contact force. Therefore, contact force is equal to F net is equal to n square plus F square. N square plus F square. Now, when the body is ready to move, the angle made by the net contact force, with the normal reaction is called angle of friction. Therefore, now this, if phi is angle of friction, so if phi is angle of friction, then we can write this as tan phi is equal to, just by using this components form here, you can shift this f bar to here so that you can write the tan phi value. So that the tan phi is equal to f limiting by normal reaction we can write. And so now here this value will be tan phi is equal to f limiting, means we can write this as mu s into n by n, right? So that means that coefficient of, that means in terms of this coefficient of friction, in last class we explained this. This limiting friction is directly proportional to the normal reaction, and so that then here we are writing it as mu s into n, right? And so therefore this tan phi is equal to mu s. So you need to remember this relation here. That means sometimes instead of giving this angle of friction, they will give that mu s value. What is the mu s meaning? Coefficient of static friction. Mu s is nothing but, so coefficient of static friction, right? And so then angle of friction means generally we write this as tan inverse of mu. If phi is angle of friction, so therefore this angle of friction we can write this as angle of friction phi is equal to tan inverse of mu s. As I said in the last class, if mu s and mu k values are given separately, then we need to consider that mu s value here, or otherwise if only mu value is given, you can consider just that mu value here, right? And so that is about this angle of friction here. So angle of friction means just this net contact force, angle made by the net contact force with this normal reaction. And so now let us come to the contact force here. So the different possible values of this contact force and what will be the maximum value of this contact force. So let us write this here, and the minimum value of this contact force. So let us write about this maximum and minimum values of this contact force here. So can you say when that contact force will be minimum? So definitely the normal reaction value will be there. When the body is placed on the horizontal surface, so then definitely the normal reaction value will be there, right? And so the friction may be zero when there is no tendency here. When the body is in equilibrium, so that there is no any tendency here, tendency to move, then the frictional force can be zero, right? Or if the surface, if you are assuming that that surface is a smooth surface, then also then friction value will be zero. Then only the contact force will be equal to normal reaction. But whereas maximum means on the horizontal surface, you can consider like the resultant of n square and FL square we need to consider when you are taking this maximum value. So therefore when the body is on horizontal surface, when body is on horizontal surface, the minimum contact force will be F minimum is equal to N, or which is equal to mg when this friction is 0. That means when the minimum means when the friction is 0, then you will get this normal reaction, only the contact force there in that case. And so then in that situation, if they ask angle of friction, then angle of friction will be 0, because that friction value is 0. And so now similarly the maximum contact force. So the maximum contact force, so the maximum contact force F max is equal to under root of N square plus FL square we need to write. And therefore this F max is equal to N square. N means that is nothing but mg whole square. I mentioned already the body is on the horizontal surface. So when the body is on the horizontal surface, normal reaction is nothing but mg. And so then here this value is mu n mu mg whole square. And therefore you can write this maximum value as mg you can take out. And so this is 1 plus mu square we can write. So therefore what we can conclude is when the body is on the horizontal surface, then this contact force will lies in between this mg and this value here. Therefore what we can mention here is therefore mg less than or equal to F contact force less than or equal to mg of under root of 1 plus mu square, right. So this expression is for horizontal surface. So in general if you want to write, we can express in terms of this normal reaction here. So the same expression in terms of in general if you want to write here, so therefore that in general, so n is less than or equal to F less than or equal to n into under root of 1 plus mu square or mu s square you can write here. In general in the sense when the body is placed on even on the inclined plane also. So in the inclined plane then n value is equal to mg cos theta. So you will get in terms of mg cos theta. So in general you can express like this, but in case of horizontal surface is given you can write like that. And here the major mistake most of the student will do is regarding the normal reaction here. So the normal reaction is always not equal to mg when it is placed on the horizontal surface and when the surface is not accelerating in any vertical direction. So then only the normal reaction value will be equal to mg. If any acceleration is there in vertical direction, m of g effective we need to consider, which we did. When lift is accelerating upwards, then m of g plus a, and if it is moving downwards, then m of g minus a we need to consider that. And similarly when it is accelerating on the inclined plane, the normal reaction value is nothing but mg cos theta we need to consider there, where theta is angle of inclination. So right, so always don't write n means mg value. So it depends on the situation, how the block is, that means on which surface it is placed and how the block is, whether the surface is accelerating or not, right. So that is about this contact force here, contact force on this angle of friction. Next, let us discuss some cases when the body is moving on the horizontal surface. So let us say that motion of the body on the horizontal surface. And before going to this, I will explain about how to identify the direction of the friction here. So let us discuss it here, the simple theory points regarding this. To find direction of friction. So that means in this friction topic, it is a major task to identify the direction of the friction in most of the problems here, or most of the students will do the mistake in identifying the direction of the friction only, right? So if you are able to identify the direction of the friction, you can solve the friction problems easily, more easily, because the only formula here is static friction, limiting friction means mu s into n, and the kinetic friction means mu k into n. And the net force, finally we write that net force is equal to ma if the system is accelerating in any particular direction here. And so now let us see here in case of this static friction. So that means for the static friction, so in case of static friction, so now let us consider the situation when the static friction is acting here. Like suppose I am taking like this object is, a truck is accelerating here, or the truck is accelerating with some acceleration a naught. And now suppose this is a mass m and a small block is placed on this here. And now let us consider this motion of this object with respect to an observer on this ground. Suppose say this ground observer is observing that, and if you are observing that, and then that means we are assuming that both are moving together, there is no any relative slipping for this. This is the common acceleration of the system here. So this is common acceleration. That means both are moving together. When both are moving together, if suppose if you are drawing the free body diagram of the system with respect to this observer on the ground here. So that means now if you are drawing this free body diagram here, so then what generally in vertical direction we can write mg, and this direction we can write this as n. These are the forces acting along this direction. But here the system is accelerating in horizontal direction with acceleration a naught, right? Now in horizontal direction, who is responsible for producing that acceleration for that block here? That is only the frictional force. The frictional force is possible for this, responsible for this acceleration of the object in horizontal direction. Simply let us think, if friction is not there, what will happen? This lower truck is accelerating by some external force here. If there is no friction between this block and this truck here, then what will happen? The block will remain there only truck will move here, if all the surfaces are smooth surfaces, right? So the block will remain here only truck will accelerate, and so finally will fall, this block will falls on the ground there only. So it won't move if the surfaces are smooth. But here if it is moving, means it is moving because of this frictional force only. So definitely this frictional force should be in forward direction here. This frictional force should be in forward direction. And here this is which type of friction, means there is no slipping between these two objects here. That means with respect to the surface, this object is at rest. With respect to the truck, that object is at rest. And so that then the frictional force acting on this object is nothing but static friction here. So that means static friction is, that means on the block, the static friction is acting in forward direction. Because of static friction only that block is moving. But whereas if you are taking the free body diagram of this capital M here, so for this capital M, this static friction will act in backward direction, because always remember that friction is like action and reaction. That means it forms action and reaction pair. It obeys the Newton's third law. So it forms action and reaction here. So the same static friction on this capital M will be in backward direction here. So here the nature of this friction will be static friction. So this is a static friction acting on this block here. And just if you want to write the force equation for this M, then this frictional force we can write this as m a naught. So that is the force for this force equation for this value here. So right. So that is in case of static friction here. So that means simply you can think where the friction is not there, how this block will move. What will be the type of motion of in which direction the block will move. If friction is not there, then only block will remain at rest only. But if friction is there, it is accelerating in forward direction. So that is because of this static friction only, right? And this is the case, you can also take it as an example for where the friction supports the motion of this object here. So here this friction is supporting the motion of this object here. So there in the last class I said sometimes they will ask a statement like friction always opposes the motion. Is it the correct statement? It's a wrong statement. But you can say that friction always opposes the relative motion. That is the correct statement there. Friction always opposes the relative motion. Friction always opposes the motion is a wrong statement, but friction always opposes the relative motion is a correct statement here. If there is no relative slipping between these two here, then there is no friction even though all the surfaces are smooth. If both are moving with the same velocity, for example, here I am taking a situation like this. So that means this is one block and this is another block here. If this is moving with the velocity v and this is also moving with the velocity v, right? Both are moving with the velocity, same velocity only. And let us take this lower surface is smooth surface here. This is smooth surface, but this is a rough surface here. That means it is having some friction, but it is not having some not there. That means it is no friction is there for this surface here. Both are given the common. That means both are moving with some velocity v here. Then the frictional force between those two objects will be. So the frictional force will be 0 here. That means here relative velocity is 0. Relative velocity v12 with respect to 1 or with respect to 2 you can take, 1 with respect to 2 or 2 with respect to 1 you may consider. So that will be 0, and so that frictional force between them will be 0. Friction between blocks is 0, right? So that means there is no friction between the blocks in this case here. If suppose like that, when the blocks are moving with the common velocity, then there is no friction between the blocks here. Is it clear? Even though surface is rough, there is no friction between the blocks. And so next, if suppose if you are talking about this kinetic friction, that means when there is slipping between them. So is it clear about the static friction? How to identify the direction of the frictional force? And so now let us in case of static kinetic friction here. So in case of this kinetic friction. So in case of kinetic friction will arise when there is some relative slipping between those two blocks here. So then simply what we can identify is we can identify the relative velocity here. So let us take a similar example with the different velocities. So now here I am taking that. So this is block A moving with velocity VA, and this is block B having some velocity VB, right? And so now I am taking, for simplicity, I am taking this as this velocity is say V and this velocity is 2V I am taking here, right? So that you will get the clarity about the how to take the direction. And again let us consider this ground is a smooth surface here. Ground is a smooth, or even if you consider the rough surface, you can answer the direction of friction easily here. So even let us consider the ground also rough surface, there is no problem, you can answer the direction here. So that means now simply suppose if you are identifying the direction of frictional force acting on this B. So now there is some relative slipping between them. So here you can observe that relative velocity is not equal to 0 here. So that means relatively both are slipping, that means one object is slipping on the other object here. So that means now here to find the direction of the friction in such a cases, so if you are getting any confusion, simply take the relative velocity here. So that means now simply I am taking that velocity of B with respect to A. So that is VBA. We know that can be written as VB minus VA you can write. Therefore this VBA bar is equal to VB value is 2V minus this is V. Both are in forward direction only. If you want, you can take in terms of I cap here. Suppose that means this can be taken as I cap and this is also I cap I am taking here. So velocity of B with respect to A will be V I cap you can write. That means V I cap means with respect to A, the B is moving in forward direction. That means suppose if you are assuming an observer is standing here, an observer is standing on the A, that plank A or object block A, then with respect to him B is moving in forward direction. So when B is moving in, that means it has a relative motion in forward direction. Then our friction opposes that relative motion here. Friction always opposes the relative motion. So with respect to A, B is moving in forward direction. And so the direction of friction must be, so if you are taking this value here B, therefore the direction of friction must be in backward direction here. This is the kinetic friction. That friction will be in backward direction here, which is opposite to that relative velocity here. So this relative velocity VBA is along this direction. So VBA is along this direction. Therefore friction will be opposite to that relative velocity here. So you may write this here, you may mention that sentence, that friction will be opposite to the relative velocity of this object. That means friction acting on B, because we are finding this acceleration of B with respect to A here. So friction acting on B will be opposite to that relative velocity, and friction acting on A will be in the direction of this velocity here. Friction acting on this A will be in the direction of this relative velocity. And as we are considering this floor is also rough surface, there will be another frictional force from this floor also. And clearly you can say that with respect to this floor, the plank A or the block A is moving towards right here. So then you can easily answer that friction from the floor will be along this direction here. So let it be some F dash K I am taking here, some different friction. So the different friction will act here. So that will be the direction of frictional force acting on this A here, right? So that is identifying the direction of friction in case of this kinetic friction here. That means in case of kinetic friction, just you may find relative velocities. Just by taking the relative velocity direction, if you are taking relative velocity of B with respect to A, then friction acting on B will be opposite to that relative velocity here. So this is the way of finding that in case of kinetic friction, if you are getting confusion regarding that. And now I will give a simple problem based on this here. So let us see this another example. So that means two rods are moving here. Suppose say this rod is moving with the velocity v along this direction, and let us say this rod is moving along this direction here. This another rod is there like this. This rod is having velocity 2v along this direction, and suppose this is the rod A and this is the rod B I am taking here. And so now if they are rough surfaces, that means rod surface or rough surfaces, then we need to answer the friction between them. Suppose say they are placed on the smooth surface, from the ground there is no friction, or even if the friction is there from the ground, when the object is moving, you can directly answer from the fixed surface here. The friction will be opposite the direction of motion if the object is moving on the fixed surface. So just mention or write it as a problem. Two rods, two identical rods A and B, are moving as shown in the figure in a horizontal, that means moving in a horizontal plane, as shown in the figure. Rod A is moving on B as shown. That means there what I am considering is A is above the B I am taking there. Rod A is moving. It is not important, just to get the clarity to you. That means you may get a doubt here whether A is above or B is above. Then simply I am taking that A is above here. This is a top rod and this is a bottom rod I am taking here. B is a bottom rod I am taking. Then find the unit vector in the direction of frictional force acting on the rod A and on the rod B. Find the unit vector in the direction of frictional force acting on the rod A and on the rod B. So that means the coordinate system is also given in the data. So rod B is along x-axis and rod A is along this y-axis. So we need to identify this unit vector here, right? So that means in this case, just again let us similar to that, let us identify the direction of this relative velocity here. So that means if they are taking that relative velocity here, velocity of B with respect to A. Either you can find B with respect to A or A with respect to B. That is your choice. Anything you can find here. So velocity of A with respect B with respect to A will be VBA. So which is VB bar minus VA bar you can write, similar to our previous problem. So this is VBA bar is equal to, so VB bar means you can write this as 2V VB bar value, and it is along this minus J cap. So it is minus 2V J cap, and VA bar is along this X direction, so I can write this as VI cap, right? Therefore this VBA bar is equal to minus of that V also can take common, minus V of I cap plus 2J cap. That means velocity of B with respect to A is along this direction. So the frictional force acting on B will be opposite to this, as I said here. If velocity of B with respect to A is towards right, then frictional force acting on will be towards left. Therefore friction acting on B will be along, just I am finding the unit vector of this. So unit vector means you can write this as I cap plus 2J cap by magnitude of that vector, root 5, that means 1 plus 2 square. So this is the direction of the frictional force acting on B. And so now on the A means you can say that simply action and reaction. So on the A means it will be opposite to that of this. Therefore I can write frictional force acting on A will be along minus of I cap plus 2J cap by root 5. So that is the frictional force acting on this B. So like that you can consider the direction of this frictional force here, right? So that means when the system is accelerating, that means when they are moving like this, you can find the direction of the frictions like this. And sometimes here, as I said, if velocities are known to you, then you can answer the direction of the frictions like this. If suppose velocities are unknown for us, if velocities are not given and only that force diagram is given for us, and for example here I am taking that so this is say block A and another block is placed on this above here. So here this fixed arrangement is there, a pulley arrangement is given here like this. And suppose now you are pulling any one of this block here. Suppose I am pulling this block here. If you are pulling this block, then we need to identify the direction of the frictional force. So here the velocities are unknown for us, so you can't find the relative velocity here. So in such a case, how to answer that? Suppose the system is moving, let us consider, or ready to move, you may consider that. So then in that case, in such a case, if velocities are unknown for us, then you need to simply consider that system is a smooth surface. That means all the surfaces are smooth, let us consider here. So if all the surfaces are smooth, then what will happen? If you are pulling the block A along this direction, then block A will start moving along this direction here, right? And so then block B will start moving along this direction here. Is it clear? That means we are pulling this block in towards left, and so this block A, if all the surfaces are smooth, then whatever is the amount of force you are applying, then this block will start moving towards left. And so when it is moving towards left, then block A will move in backward, that means in towards right here in opposite direction because of this string constraint. So right, and so now here if the surface are rough surfaces, then let us identify this how the friction is acting here. So that means now this block A has tendency to move towards this right, or if it is moving, then it will move towards right, right? And so then friction acting on A should be towards left, and so that we can write this as if this is block A and let us consider this is the block B, right? Simply what we are assuming here is if friction is not there, then block A will move towards left and block A will move towards right. And so then friction will oppose this motion here. As this block A is moving this towards left, then the friction will oppose it. Suppose this I am taking as some F2 here, and here this F1 will be there from this floor, if the floor is also rough, because on the floor also it is moving like this, and so then frictional force will be there like this, and other force will be, tension will be there here. We are concentrating only on the friction direction here. And now the reaction force for this F2 reaction will be there here. So the F2 reaction means you can say F2 acting on the block will be along this direction here. And so the other force will be, tension will be there along this horizontal direction. I am not representing that mg and the normal reactions, just we are concentrating on that friction direction here, because the remaining that normal reaction and friction you can, normal reaction and mg you can represent there, right? So there is a way of identifying that, identifying the friction in different cases there. So that means, is it clear how to identify the direction of the friction here? If suppose if that string is not there, if you are considering the system like if that string is not there, then what will happen? So let us see the same situation. If the string is not there, just again the block is placed on this another block here, this is block A, and here block B is there here. So now you are applying some force acting on this. Now can you say the direction of frictional force acting on that? Again the same concept. Simply think, if that surface or all the surfaces are smooth surfaces, what will happen? The block A will start moving towards right, and so block B will fall there only, friction is not there. So as the block A is moving towards left, and so it has a relative motion towards left, and so then the friction should act in opposite direction there. And so the direction of frictional force acting on this A and B, now you can represent like this. So the frictional force acting on A will be towards left. And so now here it will be reaction force will be there here. It will be F2 will be there like this, and this is F1 from the floor, it will be there like this. Is it clear? Now in the same case, if suppose the force is applied on the top block here, in the same case, suppose now the two blocks I am taking here, this is A and this is B. So now here the force is applied on this top block. Now can you say the direction of the friction? So again the same thing, we need to consider like both are frictionless, that means all the surfaces are frictionless, you may consider there. So then you may think only that block B is moving, then block A doesn't move. So if only block B is moving, then frictional force acting on this block B will be along this direction here. Let it be F2. And so now here the frictional force acting on A will be along this direction here. Action and reaction, always friction between the blocks will be equal in magnitude and opposite in direction. Then can you say what about the friction from the floor? If any friction is there between floor and the block A also, what is the direction of frictional force from the floor? Now with respect to floor, this block A is moving towards left, right? And so the frictional force from that floor will be towards right. So with respect to that floor, that block has tendency or it is moving towards this left here. So the frictional force will oppose that motion there. And so then frictional force will be there towards left there. So like that you can identify the direction of the frictions in different cases here. So the major problem, as I said, in friction is only about this identifying the direction of the friction, and the next thing is identifying how much frictional force is acting here. So once the body is in motion, then the problem will be easy for us. You can easily identify the direction of this frictional force, and as we know the magnitude of frictional force will be only mu k into n you can write. But you should solve the problems very carefully when the system is at rest only. Because when the system is at rest, there is no any other formula to calculate that static friction. So you need to analyze the situation and you need to check whether how much frictional force is acting on that system. So keep in mind that when the system is at rest, you should solve the problem carefully. The directions of the friction as well as the magnitude of the friction also should calculate it carefully. So then in the next class I will explain the motion of the object on the horizontal surface. So in today class I am explaining about only the direction of the frictional force here. In the next class, I will explain the motion of the object on the horizontal surface and we will discuss some problems based on this. Right? Thank you.